San Antonio police say 3 people are in the hospital and 2 suspects are detained this morning after a shooting at an apartment complex on the west side. That shooting happened around 8 last night in the 300 block of Cayas Street. San Antonio police say officers got to the scene to find a woman, man, and 14-year-old with gunshot wounds. They were taken to a local hospital by EMS and are in stable condition. Officers were able to gather some suspect information and 2 suspects were detained. Police say the shooting appears to have started out as a fight outside of that complex. This morning, Russian forces are continuing to bombard cities in Ukraine despite pledges to scale back some of their operations.
ABC's M. Nguyen has more from Washington.
This morning, unrelenting bombardments of Ukrainian cities, despite Russia's promises to cut back combat operations around Chernihiv and the capital Kyiv. President Zelensky on high alert as Russia moves troops for new attacks into the eastern Donbass region. We're getting ready for this, he says. The Pentagon also skeptical of Russian claims to de-escalate fighting as a good faith measure for peace talks with Ukraine, saying less than 20% of Russian troops that were around Kyiv are moving away, but likely just repositioning. Now, the White House saying they believe Vladimir Putin is being misinformed by military commanders who are too afraid to tell him the truth about what's happening on the ground.
The fact that he may not have all the context, that he may not fully understand the degree to which his forces are failing in Ukraine, that's a little discomforting.
Declassified intelligence saying Putin feels misled by his defense ministry, which didn't even tell him their newly drafted soldiers were dying in Ukraine. The head of Britain's spy service saying Putin misjudged the Ukrainian resistance and his own forces.
He overestimated the abilities of his military to secure a rapid victory. We've seen Russian soldiers, short of weapons and morale, refusing to carry out orders, sabotaging their own equipment, and even accidentally shooting down their own aircraft.
This comes as President Biden pledges another $500 million in aid to Ukraine during a near hour-long call with President Zelensky.
President Biden is set to deliver remarks today on what they're calling the Putin price hike on energy prices. The administration is considering a release of roughly 1 million barrels of oil a day from the nation's reserves to combat rising gas prices. M. Nguyen, ABC News, Washington.
In your morning headlines, U.S. authorities say they are stopping more than 7,000 migrants every day at the border with Mexico. It marks a sharp increase from February and comes as the Biden administration nears a decision on whether to end sweeping asylum restrictions designed to prevent the spread of COVID-19. Chief Raul Ortiz says 1,500 Cubans were stopped the previous day, which is well more than double the daily average from the Caribbean nation who came in February. Nearly 2 million migrants have been expelled from the U.S. under current COVID-related asylum restrictions since March of 2020 and are set to expire this week.
Severe storms that included at least 2 confirmed tornadoes have injured several people in Mississippi and Tennessee. Homes and businesses were damaged as the weather spread damage in Arkansas, Missouri, and Texas overnight before moving to the deep south. So far, no deaths have been reported. The strong line of intense storms is stretching nearly 800 miles, triggering tornado warnings and watches along its path.
The Federal Election Commission has fined Hillary Clinton's 2016 presidential campaign and the Democratic National Committee. The FEC says the Clinton campaign and DNC misreported money that funded the infamous Trump-Russia dossier. Instead of labeling it as opposition research, they said it was legal services and legal and compliance consulting, quote unquote. The DNC was fined only $105,000. The Clinton campaign fined only $8,000. According to FEC regulations, political candidates and groups must publicly disclose their spending and explain any expenditure more than $200. The Clinton campaign and the DNC never stated they violated campaign finance laws, but they have accepted the civil fines.
Time now, 4:37 and about 54 degrees out there.